Welcome to Scone Baking Beyond. Hi, I'm Kathy, and I enjoy making scones, muffins, cookies, and all sorts of delicious baked goodies. My friend Marilynn loves lemon bars. So to celebrate her recent retirement, I'm going to surprise her with lemon bars. These delicious lemon bars are doubly lemony with lemon yogurt in the crust. So let's bake. So let's get started. The first thing we want to do is get our crust going. So I have here 1/2 cup of powdered sugar, 1½ cups of unbleached flour, and 1/2 cup of whole wheat flour. And this is whole wheat pastry flour because it's lighter in texture than regular whole wheat flour. I'm just going to whisk that together. There we go. Now I have here 1/2 cup of grated butter, and I had in the freezer for about 15 minutes to get it nice and cold. And I always have a piece that seems to go overboard. Always one that jumps out of the pool. And today, looks like I have 2. There we go. So that's 1/2 cup of grated butter, and now we're going to add 1/2 cup of lemon yogurt. It can either be non-fat yogurt or just regular yogurt, depending upon what you can get at the store that day. So that's 1/2 cup of lemon yogurt, and I'm just going to cut the butter and the yogurt into the dry ingredients until it gets nice and crumbly. So now let me show you what this looks like. See how crumbly that is? It kind of sticks together. If I went to hold it together, it'll hold together. And that's what we're looking for. Nice and crumbly, but if I was to hold it like that, squeeze it like that, it'll hold together. That is what we're looking for. So I have here a 9-inch by 13-inch pan. It's ungreased. And we're going to put our crumbly crust in there. There we go. And we're going to spread this evenly around. There we go. I need to crumple that back up. And then we're going to pat this down. You want to get this as even as you can. And the other thing I do is I go around the edges, and I actually make the edges, I kind of press them down a little bit farther. Otherwise they kind of build up too much, and I don't want them all built up. So I will go around all the edges and press those down. I preheated my oven to 350 degrees, and I'm going to bake this crust for 15 minutes. While our crust is baking, it's time to get the lemon filling going. I have here 2 cups of sugar, 4 large eggs, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of lemon zest, and 1/4 cup of fresh lemon juice. Put all that in my stand mixer. We're going to put this on medium-high speed until it's nice, light, and fluffy, and that's about 5 minutes. Nice, light, and fluffy. And now we're going to pour it on the crust. I just took that crust out of the oven, so it's nice and hot. We're going to pour our lemony filling on top of this hot crust. And we want it all in there. There we go. Oh. smells wonderful. We'll spread that about. There we go. Before we put in the oven, we're going to just loosely cover it with some foil, and that keeps the top from getting overly brown. We're going to put this in the oven for about 30 minutes at 350 degrees. Okay, it's been 33 minutes, and it's nice and done. The last minute of baking, I always take the foil off just to let it kind of start browning up just a little bit. The way you can tell your lemon bars are done is when you press on them, it doesn't leave a little indentation. Then you know they're ready. So what I like to do with my lemon bars is I like to take about a tablespoon of butter, and I won't use the whole thing, and I just kind of run it along the top, but don't press it down because it'll smudge your lemon bars. And this helps the powdered sugar from soaking right into the lemon bars. So I'm just going to let it kind of melt on there and just lightly run it over the top. There we go, and along the edges. There. But you don't want to press down because it'll ruin your lemon bars. Oh, these are going to be so good. And now we're going to add a little dusting of powdered sugar. I shouldn't say a little, a lot of dusting of powdered sugar. There we go. We're going to let these cool completely, and then we're going to put them in the refrigerator for at least 4 hours, or you can leave them there overnight. Okay, it's been 4 hours. So the first thing we want to do is release our edges. So you want to take a good spatula and start working it down the edges until you get down to the bottom of the pan. And this takes a little bit of time and a little bit of work. And when you get to the corner pieces, I take a smaller little spatula and kind of work around the corners here. I will do that around the entire lemon bar pan here. And work all the way around. There we go. And it takes a little while to get it to release. So go all the way around and kind of wiggle it down till I know I'm at the bottom of the pan. A lot of times you wiggle down, but you're not quite at the bottom of the pan. So we're going to go all the way around. There we go. And take our smaller spatula here and kind of go around the corners. There we go. So what you're looking for is that when you go around the edges, it kind of just starts popping up. Then you know you have released it. If you can't quite bring it up like this, then you haven't quite got down to the pan yet. So keep on doing it until it comes up like that. I have a wet cloth here, and just kind of wipe that off. And now we're going to cut this into 24 pieces. So I just kind of eyeball half. That looks good. And I again wiggle this down until I get to the bottom. And go back and forth until you get to the bottom of the pan. And now we're going to cut these into thirds, and my wet cloth here is just to kind of wipe this off. And now we're going to cut this in half. Just make sure you can slide it all the way through. And in half again. So the hardest part of lemon bars is doing the cutting here and getting the sides to release. When releasing the sides, I did try to put this in a foil sling, but then the foil stuck to the crust, and you're trying to pick the foil out of the crust, and that didn't work so well. So just an ungreased pan works just fine. It just takes a little bit of time to get everything loosened up. There we go. It's all loosened up. Now, as you can see, a lot of the powdered sugar is still soaked into the hot lemon bars. So we'll put some more powdered sugar on top. So let's get some out onto our plate here. Yeah, that first one's always hard to get out. Doesn't that look good? There we go. Oh, that's going to be so good. Marilynn's going to love these lemon bars. There we are. Get that off. Those look so wonderful. I'll put this aside. I'll finish cutting those and getting those in a nice pretty box for Marilynn. But I think we need to try one. Make sure they're okay before I go take them to her. I'm going to take this one right here. You can see the crust down there. Now remember, the crust has a little lemon yogurt in it, so it's going to have a nice little lemon flavor to it. And then the lemon filling. Oh, just looks beautiful. You can taste the lemon in there, and the crust is just perfect. Nice and tender, but firm. For the complete recipe, please go to my website, sconebaking.com. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and please subscribe for future videos. I hope this inspires you to bake. Thank you for watching.